From Bitcoin, blockchain or distributed ledger technology to cryptocurrencies, tokens and initial coin offerings, it seems everyone involved has something to say, but can you really trust their advice? One man's had enough of weasel words and charlatans and is ready to give you impartial, independent analysis. With digestible blockchain bites, ICO analysis and need-to-know news on cryptocurrencies, author, speaker, transparency and clarity advocate, and award-winning software innovator, Barry James brings you Radio ICO.
Hello, and this is Barry James again with the Blockchain Bites series for ICO Radio. And I'm really pleased to have with me today the two of the co-founders behind Thrinacia, Kyle and Alex. Welcome, Kyle. Welcome, Alex.
Hi. Just to introduce myself, I'm actually the business developer. I'm not necessarily one of the co-founders, but I do oversee a lot of the development that's happening at Thrinacia.
I'm sorry about that, but promoted you there. So long as Alex doesn't tell me off, I think we'll be all right.
That's fine.
And Alex, are you the founder, or do you have co-founders as well?
We don't have any co-founders right now, my name again is Alex, and I'm the founder of Thrinacia. And we have started the company, back in 2015. We're a self-bootstrapped company. We have, spun off from another development company. And our focus is crowdfunding and building, ecosystems for crowdfunding, launching websites and campaigns. And we're now getting into the ICO business as well.
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk a little bit about is about where the idea and the concept for Thrinacia came from originally. But if you just flesh out a little bit about your own personal histories and what it is that brought you to this and why you're passionate about it.
Yeah, so the idea for Thrinacia came, we basically saw the need. There was a lot of clients that we had that needed websites to raise money, and whether it's charities, nonprofits, commercial. So they all had the need, and out of that need, basically the product came to be about, and we started working on it. To allow these people to build these sites, and we kind of, kept pushing and kept going and kept enhancing our product. Today we have, launched over 3,000 portals in our ecosystem.
Wow.
Some of these portals, generate a significant amount of money, that comes through them. We're talking in millions of dollars. So we're, quite satisfied with the product and its stability and scalability.
Yeah. And
now the next step for us is obviously to get into the, the ICO business and, allow people to launch ICO-based campaigns and ICO-based websites like the CoinStarter. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very impressive. That number of sites and those sorts of results. Any sites I might have heard of?
Sites that you can check out, you mean?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, we're currently working with several companies. One of them is Omaze. I don't know if you've heard about them. They do a lot of promotions with celebrities.
Do you want to spell that out for listeners, please?
Yeah, and the some of the other clients we had in the past or still have include, certain political candidates that were running for presidency. That didn't necessarily get the presidency in the U.S., but they were running, and we had campaigns for them as well.
Yeah.
We work with other parties like Seed Money is the big one from. That does like kind of raising money for gardens and food projects, and Kyle can kind of elaborate more on that. And we have quite a few clients that like a cruiser.com, for example, that does specific things for wineries.
Yeah.
They try to raise money for wineries, and we have some other ones. And Kyle would probably know better than me. I'm not necessarily involved with clients on an everyday basis. I do more back-end development and that sort of stuff. But yeah.
To kind of expand on what you were talking there in your first riff there. We offer an infrastructure of crowdfunding products for people if you want to run your own crowdfunding portal.
Yeah.
If you want to have run your own crowdfunding campaign. And so there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. You can run, a campaign and have it completely customized to exactly what you're looking for using our products, as well as we have mobile apps. So, we're trying to expand even farther and go into the ICO and, as well as bring to you guys, other products as well. As far as, big clients, he mentioned Ome's there, that we worked with a particular campaign, not the actual platform, but a particular campaign, and as well as seed money. They're doing really good, and they run their platform a little bit differently, and they kind of had already a big crowd of people before they got onto our platform. So they've been very successful with their running their campaigns.
Yeah. So you guys have been doing it for a while, so you know a thing or two about crowdfunding, right?
Yeah, we know a thing or two about crowdfunding. Right now, we're a little bit under the radar, and so we're just starting to get more recognition. As you can see, you're wanting to interview us. We've been featured on some big blog articles and whatnot. So we're just kind of starting to get on the radar right now, and that's when we're hoping to release some really new and exciting products in the future using ICO.
Yeah, and we had some bigger companies contacting us for our enterprise solutions as well, because we offer enterprise dedicated cloud as well solutions. So we had Philips, I believe, and we had a few other big companies like Universal Studios, and Procter and Gamble was another one we were kind of doing some stuff with. So we're hoping that the next wave of technologies that we release is going to be quite interesting, because it's going to allow you to bridge that gap between crowdfunding and ICO. So it's going to allow you to go from a crowdfunding campaign and transition that into the ICO. And it's a unique kind of idea where, you basically create a crowdfunding campaign, to kind of offer tickets for the event that you sell with certain incentives to get into the pre-ICO. And then you have your pre-ICO campaign. So once you get some money through that crowdfunding campaign, you can use that to kind of start with the pre-ICO campaign. And it's interesting, because then the product will allow you to either create campaigns or create full portals or sites that can operate like the Coinstarter as well, and offer ability for other people to come in and create these ICO type of campaigns. So you can choose how you want to do it. Like, you can either be a business that just needs one campaign, or you can be a business that wants to run a portal. So it's quite interesting, and we're hoping it's going to be a game changer. We're looking at several blockchains right now to work with. One of them is Stellar, just because it's really easy to create ICOs on Stellar, and the transaction time is very fast, unlike Ethereum. So we're looking into that, and we're looking at several other ones as well, to help us, get that kind of worked out in terms of token creation, deployment, and all that. Right?
Okay. Just to kind of step back a little bit further, just here, though, you clearly, sort of two questions that are related here, clearly see a strong connection in terms of model between crowdfunding and ICOs. Be interested in your thoughts on that. But not only that, but if I'm hearing you correctly, and I think I am, you're seeing a practical connection, not just an in principle connection, in that the two can work together. Would you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So right now we're trying to bridge the gap, between crowdfunding and ICO.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, it's mostly to do with pre-sale ICO. So, to get, a lot of people don't have a lot of money. Some companies don't have a lot of money to actually create an ICO.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. It could be upwards from $50,000 to create the ICO. So to kind of bridge that gap would be to use the pre-sale ICO.
Yeah.
But before you even get to the pre-sale ICO, what you can do is have a crowdfunding campaign that really, rewards crowdfunding campaign, I should say, that will allow you to have tickets to enter the pre-sale ICO. So, you can use your marketing efforts and get these tickets to the pre-sale ICO so that you can fund for the actual ICO itself. Yeah. So using crowdfunding will allow you to, launch your ICO in a sense.
Cool. And presumably, this is going to be embodied in the platform, and you've already, kind of done the background legal work on all of this. I believe you're am I right in thinking you're located in California, by the way?
No, we're actually located in Vancouver. Yeah.
Yeah, our team is located here in Canada, in Vancouver, but we have developers that are kind of distributed as well, so they work all across. But our central core team is in Canada, in Vancouver. Yeah. So what Kyle was saying is right, actually. Like, to start an ICO, it does take a lot of money. Like you got to pay lawyers, there's legal fees, all sorts of other fees, and we're hoping to reduce, the amount of money it takes to launch the ICO campaign, and then make that more accessible to people, like so there's less friction. Yeah. With setting up a crowdfunding campaign, and allowing people to raise money through that and use that to bootstrap an ICO, that seems like a very feasible idea. And also allowing people that to access the technology required to create an ICO campaign, and making it easier for them to create that campaign. We're hoping that's going to simplify things in terms of cost and other things, right? So so that's what we're hoping for with this product.
Yeah. Okay. And it's I just want to ask the why question. Why are you doing this? Is it what's behind the business venture?
Well, we have already proven that we can make crowdfunding solutions, and they're quite successful, and we already have customers. So now we want to take it to the next level. We're looking to help people who want to raise money for their business and want to do it through an ICO avenue, or crowdfunding transitioning to an ICO. We want to help those kind of business entrepreneurs that don't necessarily have $10 million in their bank account. Yeah. That are kind of bootstrapping, that those are the types of people that we want to help, and I think with this product we'll be able to help them.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Well, as you may or may not know, I'm a huge enthusiast for crowdfunding and have been over the last few years, and helped develop it here in the UK for exactly that reason. So that's great to hear, and likewise for the future of ICOs. So we were chatting just before we came on air a little while ago, Alex, and you were just explaining the range of what's going to be provided in the platform, and your objectives in terms of both lowering the cost and making this easier. Would you just kind of like to unfold that a little bit for us?
Yeah, so the whole goal of this product, the next product we're going to be launching, is to simplify the ICO creation process. So that means there's going to be a visual UI to guide you through the process of creating a smart contract, deploying a token on a blockchain. So it's going to make it much more easier for somebody who doesn't know all these technical things to just go there and kind of visually create this campaign and run it. It's going to be very similar to creating a crowdfunding campaign that you can create right now in our system, where you have a visual kind of composer for a crowdfunding campaign or creator that allows you to move through different steps of the process and create that campaign so that you can raise money. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to simplify. And with simplifying that, we're hoping that the cost can be reduced as well.
Okay, and you've got smart contracts in there and all the elements that you need to put an ICO together, from what I hear.
Yes, yeah. We have already started developing some stuff, and we're into the process. We're hoping that we're going to have a product that's ready for the market in about a few months from now. So that's going to be extending our ecosystem with ICO engine that allows you to create either ICO campaigns or deploy full-blown ICO sites like the CoinStarter.
Yeah, sure. And are you able to tell us anything about how the model is going to work? I mean, as you know, most crowdfunding platforms charge 5% at the rewards end, and sometimes a more complex set of fees for equity. Are you able to say anything about the model at the moment?
So yeah, sure. I can elaborate a little bit on that. So right now, the way we operate our crowdfunding ecosystem is you come to us, you buy the software, and you pay a monthly fee, for using our product. It can be as low as $39 a month. Yeah. And we don't take any fees. Like, we take 0% fees. It's really up to you how you want to structure your business, what kind of fees you want to take as a business owner when you're running a site. Yeah. But we take 0 fees, and we're hoping we're gonna be able to do the same thing with ICOs. You're just paying for the use of our software. You're not gonna be paying us any fees. We're not gonna be taking any fees. And that's one main advantage with us. If you look at the Kickstarter and you go there, for example, like, you pay these guys anywhere between, it could be 4% to 10% in fees. So if you're raising $1 million and you're paying 10%, that's quite a bit of money that's going to go away from your campaign. Looking at $100,000 that's going to go away to Kickstarter or another company. With our product, you're only paying $39, for 1 month, and it's really a cost-effective solution to these things. We do have a free solution that we offer as well, but it doesn't allow you to create a full site. You can only create a single campaign. It's free solution. For that one, you don't have to pay anything. So,
just as a matter of curiosity, what about transaction charges, and how do transactions work with?
So I'll explain that. So basically, right now with the traditional crowdfunding campaign, you're basically hooking up what's called Stripe. It's a payment process. And you're paying Stripe whatever they charge. Normally, they charge anywhere between 2 to 3% in fees. And you're paying those fees to them because they have to process the credit card. So you have to pay those fees to them. But you're not paying any fees to us. You're working directly with Stripe on that end. So when you set up your account, you set up your Stripe account, and then you set up account with us. And then you pay Stripe those fees for every credit card transaction that you process. Now, with the ICO, it's going to be a little bit different, because with the ICO campaign, you're going to be paying whatever fees that blockchain charges in those transaction fees. And when we start working with blockchains like Stellar, the transaction fees are extremely low. We're talking like pennies basically for a transaction, as low as, pennies or less. So the transaction fees are going to be extremely, extremely low, like much lower than Bitcoin and Ethereum. because Stellar has extremely low transaction fees. So we're going to be working with the blockchains that have very low transaction fees, because we don't want people to, be paying, millions of dollars in transaction fees.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen with ICOs. Those fees are going to come down because you're going to be paying in a cryptocurrency, and people are going to be accepting the ICO. They're going to be selling you a token in exchange for your cryptocurrency. So you're basically going to be paying very low fees as a campaign creator.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's really really interesting. So where's this going to go? I mean, what do you see as the future, both for Thrinacia and also tokens and blockchain tokens? Where would you both talk to me a little bit? Maybe Kyle, you could comment, and Alex, you could comment
Sure.
on those two.
Okay, so yeah, like Alex was saying, our whole premise is we're a SaaS company. With our new products and technologies, we want you to use our software, and the biggest thing that we are providing really is our service. And so if you're looking to create a very custom ICO, you're looking to create a very custom crowdfunding campaign or a very custom crowdfunding platform, you have the full ability to do that using us, as well as you get a lot of support. So, as far as, ICO goes, that's just one component of the future of what we're looking to create. There's other products as well that we're, looking to expand on. And I'll let Alex actually talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, so in terms of ICO, we really want it, as he mentioned, to be easy for customers to create the ICO as well as cost effective, using our products and our services. As far as ICO goes in the future for, the entire market, I can't comment on that. I'm not, necessarily an expert. But I think right now it's really trending, as well as, people are making a big profit from particular coins. And so the thing that we're looking to do in the future is actually, have our own utility token rather than security. So, people will be able to use our products at a discounted price if they're going to be purchasing early on. And that's the whole incentive. So the 3 stages of what we're, planning on doing is going from crowdfunding to pre-sale to ICO.
Yeah.
So bridging the gap from crowdfunding to pre-sale, we'll mostly be, utilizing our marketing to gain that traction and to gain, the type of people that want to purchase the pre-sale. And then from there, we'll eventually, release the ICO.
We're currently in negotiations with some lawyers that are helping us structure our own ICO. It's going to be a utility-based ICO that we're going to offer strictly to use to pay for some services that you use in our system, or like plans, or maybe even use that token to fund some campaigns as well in our ecosystem. So we're looking to introduce that as well. We're working with some lawyers on structuring that. But I think as far as the ICOs go, like in the near future, like Kyle is saying, also there's going to be more regulation too. Yeah. You're seeing this regulation now, like every day, like countries are trying to regulate them. They're introducing new laws. They're saying a lot of them are security tokens. They're not necessarily utility tokens. They're, kind of masquerading as utility tokens. They're not true utility tokens. Yeah. So there's a lot of these tests to determine what's a utility token, what's a security token. And every country has different regulations and laws. So I think in the near future, what's going to happen, there's definitely going to be more regulation in terms of ICO. But that does not mean necessarily that the ICOs are going to go away. They're going to stay there. They're going to stay for the foreseeable future, and they're going to allow people to raise money. They have already proven themselves that they can, help businesses raise money effectively without business giving up on an equity stake. So I think they're going to stay there, and I think they're going to evolve. And it's going to be a step where it becomes it could turn into something else slightly different. But they're going to remain there, I think, as a mechanism for people to raise money in the same way that crowdfunding is still here and allows people to raise money as well. So it's just another a mechanism to raise funds for the business.
Well, I've been heavily involved in the debates and in actually staging and stimulating some of the debates in the UK that resulted in the government and the regulator changing course and being much more supportive of innovation. So I'm very interested in this, and talking to some of my friends who are experts in the area over the last couple of days, what we're seeing is some jurisdictions, Turkey's one of them, but there are several others who are kind of turning around from a very negative attitude to saying, actually, we need to embrace this stuff. So I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're also glad that you, forgive my mistake earlier, that you're in Canada rather than California, given the different regulatory climate, because Canada are very supportive, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, in Canada, there's certainly the government is certainly monitoring these things, and they're introducing new laws and things like that, and new tests for tokens to determine whether it's a security or utility token. And they're saying things like, if you're going to be releasing a token and people are going to be profiting from this token, or investing into it strictly for just profit, then it's a security token, right? So there's all these things that kind of and it's also about like how you present your token, like how do you present it to the people that you're trying to sell this token to. Like if you say to the people you're just buying this token as an investment, then it's definitely a security token, right? So there's different things happening here, and I think US is even more strict in terms of the laws and things you can do there. I think I saw some ICOs recently. They weren't allowed to sell to US based investors the tokens. So there's certain limitations imposed on these things, and definitely. But I think it's still there as a viable mechanism for a company. If they do things properly, they can still raise money through it. And regulations will get tighter. The laws will, be different, like, in the next, 5, to 4 or 5 years from now. But, I think they're still going to be there as a viable mechanism. And I don't think people want to give it up. Because like last year alone in ICOs raised, over, what was it, like $4 or $5 billion. So I think it's a viable mechanism.
Yeah, I think it was about 6.5 billion. And a big chunk of that in the last quarter. In fact, on ICO, we have an infographic for this, which shows that climb at the end of through the end of 2017. But you're absolutely right. There is, and I think there's a possibility that the rather aggressive attitude of the SEC is tending to exclude America from some of this innovation, which is a shame. But anyway, moving on. Tell us a little bit about your timetable and your plans, because you've got a series of campaigns here, haven't you?
Yeah. So we have some new products we're releasing very soon, and right now we have a product, for example, that allows you to embed a crowdfunding campaign onto your own site and have the whole kind of crowdfunding experience happening on your own site instead of coming to a different site. So like if you have a simple site like a WordPress-based site, you can easily just copy and paste a snippet of code and enable a crowdfunding campaign on that site. So we're hoping the same thing is going to be, available for the ICO campaign, where you can just take a snippet of code and put it on your landing page of your site, and then have that ICO campaign display there with the, showing how many people have, bought the token so far, what the progress is, all that stuff. So
I get it. But I was
one
really,
of the products.
Absolutely, I get it. But I was thinking specifically of your own plans to raise money for the next stage.
Oh yeah, okay. So in terms of our company, raising money, our plan is to launch first of all a crowdfunding campaign to lead into a pre-ICO event. Yeah. So the timetable for that is, I think it's going to be happening this or next month with the pre-crowdfunding campaign. Yeah. And then following that, obviously, we're going to be transitioning over immediately into a pre-ICO event, probably a month after or something like that, or half a month after. Yeah. So we're still working with lawyers to finalize some legal things. Yeah. But, once that's done on their end, we can move forward with that. We're hoping that the pre-crowdfunding campaign is going to help us, raise a little bit of money to pay some of the legal costs and things like that. So that we can do a pre-ICO event, and following pre-ICO event, we'll go into an ICO. So that's kind of the schedule we want to do, and we want to kind of practice what we preach, right? So like if we're talking about these solutions and we're saying, this is something that's great, we actually want to do those things ourselves too. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so what should we watch out for next? And by the way, do keep us up to date. But what should we watch out for and where?
Yeah, just be on the lookout for our new products that are coming. This and next month. Some of our new products in terms of some of the components we have been working on for the web. And then the next thing is, definitely be on the lookout for our ICO engine that's going to allow you to run ICO type of campaigns and sites. And also, we're going to be going with the, this initial crowdfunding campaign, and then going into a pre-ICO. So, if you're, interested in participating, be on the lookout for that as well. That's going to be happening, we're hoping end of this month or sometime next month. So.
Okay, that's great. And I'll ask you for some URLs at the end. But before we close off, are there any particular things you'd like people to know? Kyle, Alex, as we close the interview?
I'll let Kyle comment. Kyle, is there any comments from your side?
I mean, other than, looking out for our campaign that we're planning in the future to release, just, keep checking out. If you are interested in these types of topics, whether it be crowdfunding and even ICO, keep a lookout on our blog. That's on Thrinacia.com/blog. I think that's pretty much what I want to say.
Okay, well, let me just spell it out for listeners, just in case. It's Thrinacia, spelled THRINACIA.com, and your blog's there. Other than that, I'll say thank you for coming on the show, and really best of luck with the series of campaigns. As you know, I don't just think, I know it's a very smart strategy, and I think you're going to be trailblazers with it. And I look forward to seeing your progress. Please keep us informed.
Okay, thank you, Barry.
Thanks for having us on your show, Barry.
ICO Radio was brought to you by author, speaker, transparency and clarity advocate, and award-winning software innovator Barry James. Get in touch with the programme, put yourself or someone else forward as a guest. Visit iconewsdesk.com. And if you've enjoyed the show, please leave a review. And don't forget to subscribe to get your next insights and interviews from the ICO Radio podcast.